Hello, I'm Kads and welcome to today's video. Once again, the portal is alight with the lovely yellow hue, meaning it is once again time to pull some shards. We are coming to the end of the Vault Keeper Wixwell fusion, so this is one of the last remaining events that I have to participate in. So, we've already kind of established it. We are pulling with a purpose here for the Summon Rush for Vault Keeper Wixwell, and we are continuing with that tradition. And in this case, we do have the rare for the fusion at 2,700 points, which understandably is higher than usual. The normal spot, at least in the recent days for fusions, is around 2250. So it's a bit higher, but not significantly higher. I think anything in this realm is what you can do with mystery shards if you want to preserve however many sacreds you normally do. So let's say 4, for example. And especially with the advent of the instant level up or whatever feature in the tavern, it is a lot easier to churn through mystery shards. So just keep that in mind for future events, Decks of Fate or Hero's Path, stuff like that, where you need to churn or you might need to churn through a bunch of mystery shards. You can quickly, instantly feed all of the commons and uncommons that you get from them at once to whoever the champion of your choosing. So keep that in mind. It's not as bad as it used to be, feeding 6 at a time to one champion over and over again if you want to burn through a bunch of mystery shards. Now, it is worth acknowledging that the epic for this case is on the highest side of what we've seen in terms of historical precedent. So 5,400, which is not something we have not seen. I want to emphasize that. We have seen it before. It's been there for Newt. It's been there for, I think, Marinix and one other champion who's failing to come to my mind at the moment. But there is a precedent, unfortunately, for 5,400 points, or i.e. 11 to 10, 11 sacreds, depending on how you want to think about it. And so it's not something new. It's not something we haven't seen, but it is nonetheless unfortunate for anyone who is banking on going for that option. But for me, I always plan to do all of the events and never go for the epic, so I never have to worry about wherever this milestone is. Personal preference, not necessarily a recommendation, but nonetheless, that is how I approach it. So in this case, our goal is, of course, to get to the 2,700 points, and there's a couple ways I could do that, because there is also this progressive chance event going on right now. Now, I'm not expecting to get a legendary at all, but if I do get one, then, Elva would be top of the list, although Battle Kozar would be pretty nice to have as well. But in my case, there are 2 epics that I want for Lady Mikage, and so those are going to be the thing that I want the most from this, aside from a legendary, the thing I want the most from this session. So we have Delaja here, who I do technically already have a copy of, but I've already booked her and all that stuff, and built her out, so I don't really want to sacrifice that one for Lady Mikage, so I'd like to start with her and get a duplicate of her. And then I also do need Ulfrig, or Eolfrig, however you say it, so I'd like to get him as well. So 2,700, meaning we could pull 4 sacreds and then pull 700 mystery, or we could do 5 sacreds and pull 200 mystery. And it's kind of up to my discretion, but we're going to play it by ear. So I'll start with 4 and see if we want to go to 5, because I do want to take advantage of the progressive chance events. However, more likely than not, it's going to take most of those 5 or 4 just to get one of the epics. But in the off chance that we get her on the first one and then we get him on the second one after I've, move them around, shuffle them around here, then I would just pull 4, just keep with the normal that I do for any other fusion, and then I would just work my way through 700 mystery shards and make sure to save sacreds for something else more important. And we're already in the portal, so let's go ahead and take a look at the overall shard count on the account. Right now, 700 on the ancients, flat 160 on the voids, 17 on the primals, and then 49 on the sacreds, which of course we will be dipping into today, 4 or 5, depending on how RNG goes. And just for reference, I'll also pop up the mercy tracker, because we always do, but there's really nothing to share there. Of course, we reset our mercy by participating in the sacred pogo earlier this week, and so we are freshly out of mercy, 0 on the sacred, so that's where we're going to be starting from today. And as usual for these progressive chance events, I don't like to bias the RNG when there's already something desirable in the slots. So in this case, we're just looking for the 2 Lady Mikage epics from the boosted odds, and hopefully we can get both of them in 4 sacred so we can save them for something else in the future. But I also wouldn't be opposed to getting some duplicate epics along the way for the purposes of empowerment. This session should be relatively quick, so let's go ahead and hop in. We've got the space barely, we got some cash, and hopefully we get some decent epic luck. That's what we're looking for in this particular case. So sacred number 1 is an epic, and that is not Dalaja. It is Shatterbones, who is decent, I would say. He hits okay, like in terms of an attack-based epic, he hits okay, but I primarily use him more for control because he has this triple hitter that can drop a bunch of turn meter, or potentially drop a lot of turn meter, which is pretty handy. And then he also has this decrease speed AoE, and then increase turn meter of all allies. I think this is being a 5-turn cooldown is disgusting. He needs a buff for sure, just to kind of bring him more in line, and give him the full decrease speed, this is the baby version. Give him the full thing. So he's okay. I do use him on occasion in the Cursed City, and I did used to use him forever ago in the Faction Wars. But yeah, he's just not up to snuff at this point. Sakara, she's one of the librarian sisters, I believe. Yep, look at that. 9 books or 8 books. 6 books there. Yeah, ridiculous. I don't think she's the one that does anything amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. But I think like Alika is the one who actually does a lot of damage. So Tomoe, that's how I say it, at least what I would think the Japanese pronunciation would be, since she is a Shadowkin champion. I forget what she does. Counterattack on herself, and the A1 steals buffs. That's not that synergistic, and then decrease attack AoE. Not really that amazing, but if you really need decreased attack in Faction Wars, maybe she can be helpful for you in that way. Zargala, okay, so we haven't gotten any progressive chance luck here yet, so we are going to be going for 5 sacred instead of 4. And Zargala, this is going to be a dupe for Empowerment, so that is nice, but well known for her AoE attack here. Yes, attacks all enemies 3 times, and then it has a chance of placing decreased defense on the latter 2 of the hits. And then she has a 2-turn cooldown on this ability, and if it kills someone, she activates this AoE again, which is pretty handy. So very good for Faction Wars if you need a debuffer and you don't have Duck the Pierced, or obviously very, very good in the Cursed City. So the last sacred of the evening, and then I'll have to finish out with Mystery Shards. And we got her. Awesome. You know what? One at a time. This is how we're going to get there to Lady Mikage. One thing at a time. I'll take it. So Progressive Chance has procced finally 25x on the Epic. Of course, just for anyone who doesn't know, she does have continuous heals and a shield, which is quite useful. AoE decrease attack. Again, more of a Faction Wars type champion. Or she counterattacks when any Lizardman is attacked, so emphasizing the faction unity, and then poisons on the A1. So she's pretty decent. I use her in Dune Tower Secret Rooms. There's one like Epic Lizardman, so she's kind of the healer protector for the team. And then of course, anything in Cursed City where she applies AoE decrease attack for the enemy mobs can be very, very useful. So honestly, I consider this to be a success. We only got the one, which is the bare minimum, but now we have this one to sacrifice for the Lady Mikage fusion. Unfortunately for me, I still don't have Endalia, so I literally can't do like either half. At least it'd be nice to get some champion chase points or CVC points, or however I want to use it in the future, just by being able to fuse one of the legendaries and start working them up. I do actually have Cure the Watcher, and I'm going to use this copy for the purposes of the fusion, but I'm still going to fuse the free one just to get the champion chase points. It's 500 after all, so it's worth it to make sure that I get a copy of her, just so I have her on my account. And yeah, so that means for remaining for Lady Mikage, for me, it's Andalia on the Tatsu side, it's Elisanya on the Kira side, and then Ilfrig, of course, that we mentioned before, on the Kira side, and I have these 2 guys ready to go. So progress. We have 3 epics remaining for Lady Mikage, and maybe, we're halfway through the year, but maybe, just maybe, we can finish her this year. That is a goal of mine. Last thing here, we'll double check and make sure that we did our math correctly, but I did not doubt it that much. But you see here, we are a little bit short. We're at 2633, but I will do the rest, 67 or however many that is in Mystery Shards. No problem. The rare is effectively acquired for the purposes of that. So that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys were able to pull in the Summon Rush, if you were pulling shards at all. Hopefully you got one of the Progressive Chance legendaries, maybe if you're lucky, or maybe you got a targeted epic if you're also in the chase for Lady Mikage like myself. And I guess there were also multiple days in which you could have participated, so let me know which day of the week you guys pulled your shards and what you were aiming for from each of those days. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.